everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Composition of Imagination. I am your host and author, Stevie Jo, and this is the show where we break down everything to do with my Angel of Death book series, from characters to plot, you name it, we discuss it. So with me today are two of my fabulous book guardians. We have MOMC and Superman right here next to me talking all about Elias Luck, as he has been portrayed and developed through the series. Last week we talked all about in the beginning. This week we're focusing on False Idols, which is book 2. And on Monday we started that discussion. So today we're going to continue that. So be sure you go back and watch this video so that you're all caught up. And we're just going to go on into it. When we next see Elias, he is at Skyelar's house. And this is chapter 10. Because he's at Sky's house, because where else would he be? He's actually in her kitchen cooking dinner for the two of them. And while he's in there, Sky has an interesting thought about him that I do want to touch on, even though we're not talking exclusively about Skyelar. They're very symbiotic.
Yeah.
So she's looking for some kind of fix or cure or whatever to combat whatever it is the conquistadors could be making to hurt creatures, to hurt her, whatever. So this is something that she's looking for to protect her genetically. And she suspects that Elias could be that something. But he has refused to donate his blood to the cause so she can research that. Evidently, he insisted when she brought it up to him, we can assume over the last year, he insisted that being a savior is not in his skill set. Why do you think that is? What could he possibly have to hide from her on a genetic
probably
level?
Back in the day, he probably did.
Okay.
Help people and stuff. Because it's sort of like the whole pretender thing.
Yeah.
Where you assume different roles.
Yeah.
And in his life, he's probably been a doctor. He's probably been, a healer.
Yeah.
Or, something of a savior type of figure. And he had times where he failed. And he failed more times than he actually helped. So he's like, no.
Yeah?
No, I'll pass. Because, trust me, you don't want me involved in that stuff.
Okay.
That or his blood may have killed somebody.
And that was going to be my next thing, was saying, well, do you think he has something to hide from her on a deep genetic level? And that's why he won't donate to the cause.
It is possible.
It is possible.
What do we think that could be?
I don't know. Maybe he is the Angel of Death. Maybe he's working with Patrice and, just...
Maybe he's Lucian. It's always the least one you suspect.
Huh.
Ooh, that's a good one.
We've never brought that up before. Look at you coming in here and bringing in all new theories and stuff.
Oh,
it's if
that's the plot twist down the road and you see the wings pop out and all that stuff, oh God, there's going to be, man, you talk about a riot. Whoa.
Now, just so that we all know what's going on in this chapter, because Elias's role in it is based on what's happening. Peyton arrives at Sky's house in a really grotesque half-wolf, half-human form, right? And she's completely passed out. Sky has discovered that she's been infected by something really deadly, and she's trying to use her magic to cleanse Peyton's blood, figure out what the fuck this thing is that's got her, because she's never seen it before. So when Elias comes in from the kitchen, he's coming in to check on her, and he's bringing her some wine and stuff, and he sees her magically filtering, and when I say magically, I mean she has literally got strands of Peyton's blood like arcing in front of her, going out of her body, pulling out the bad stuff, and going back into Peyton's body clean. So that's kind of what Elias is looking at when he comes in, and he's like, the fuck is happening right now, Sky? He worries that she's tinkering too close to death, because this is very dangerous, what Skylar's doing. And she knows it. She really could hurt Peyton this way, but what else is she gonna do, Mm-hmm. So Eli is worried that she's just tempting death to come knocking. and take something from them. And as much as he doesn't want to get involved, he sees Skye struggling because the amount of magic she has to use is just so intense and draining. So he goes against his gut and helps her do it just so it gets done faster. Then he goes inside to finish their dinner, and when he comes back out, he's glad to see Peyton's awake and alert. Much to his dismay, he did overhear them talking about Ezra. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, he thinks to himself that Skye should have killed Ezra.
Mm-hmm.
But he also thinks, that would have invited more problems than they were ready for. Doesn't this directly contrast and contradict with how he behaved in the last book? Because he made it a point to spare Ezra's life, and we speculated on why. So watch those videos. So why now does he wish that Ezra was dead? It's been a year and he hasn't really bothered Skye. So what's the big deal?
Because he's like the virus that just never goes away.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
And
he's the COVID.
Yeah.
Reigning over Murr County.
I mean, think about it. Yeah, he's not doing anything right now, but he's still involved with the Jericho family.
He is, yes, via Peyton.
And, and he's still scheming to get Skye back, so...
Yeah. Oh, well, Elias, when he comes in and hears this, he doesn't say anything about Ezra. He just kind of lets it go. And instead, he tells Peyton he's glad she's alive, and that angers Peyton. Because Peyton's moody. And yeah, we'll get into her.
She's
so
a mess. Yeah.
Now,
Trainwreck's more like it.
It is worth noting the remark itself did not bother her, but the fact that Elias came from inside Skylar's house where no one else is allowed, that pissed her off.
Why did it piss her off?
Because not even she's allowed in there.
So?
And she makes the comment, wow, you couldn't even let your, at the time, your boyfriend in there, but this guy that you're not even anything with is allowed in? What the fuck, Skye? And Eli's response to all that is, well, I mean, Peyton, we can all eat dinner out here if you'd be more comfortable. And that's a comment that
that was such a snarky remark that I would have fucking been pissed off at that. Yeah. I'm like, listen here, motherfucker.
It really was. And Peyton just completely took it that way and just she was like, you know what? Fuck you. And just leaves. So, do you think Elias really was glad to see Peyton alive? Or do you think he sees Peyton as a hindrance and burden on Skye, so that's why he's so snarky?
No, it was sort of like tit for tat.
Okay.
He really was glad that she's okay because that's Skye's sister.
Right.
So, on that front, yes. But her reaction about him coming out of the, Fort Knox. So, of course, he's going to sit there and throw a little salt on the wound.
Yeah. You're going to throw me shade here.
Yeah, back at you.
Yeah.
And that's really all it was. I mean, if you really wanted to hurt her, he could sit there and really just spill the beans about Ezra.
Yeah.
And say, look, you're going down the wrong rabbit hole here.
Yeah. And he does comment after she leaves, he looks at Skye and is like, a simple no would have been fine.
Yeah.
Instead of just blowing up and leaving.
Yeah, and that's Peyton's MO.
It is.
Every time something doesn't go her way, she explodes and everybody goes, great.
Uh-huh.
Not that Skye reacts much better. It's that whole, oh, you're going to blow up? I can blow up bigger than you.
Yeah. It is. That's their sister rivalry. So after...
You're talking about your pissing contest.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It's a true pissing contest between them. That happens a lot in the Jericho family,
And I think it's funny if he gets in the middle of it and he's like, okay, let's see if I got enough magic to hold these two.
Because that's dangerous,
it's funny because you're talking about two girls. Usually that phrase you use for two guys trying to show off.
After Peyton leaves, we go to chapter 12, where we see Eli and Skye inside eating dinner. They're in a very comfortable silence, which is very common with them. We see that a lot. Eli watches her kind of toy with her food because you can tell she's very distracted. And he tries to break her his little brooding moment by like feeding her himself with his magic and stuff. And he seems a bit frustrated at Skye's preoccupation with Peyton because he even thinks to himself that Skye has done more for Peyton's safety than what Peyton will ever know. And Peyton has never once bothered to return the favor. Clearly, he's concerned with how much energy Skye is putting into her sister without getting anything in return. So do you think Eli will eventually get sick of watching Peyton bleed Skye dry and do something about it? Would he actually risk something like that, given how much he cares for Skye's safety?
In a way, yes. Because he cares about Skyelar enough that something has to be done.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, she will run herself into the ground trying to help Peyton.
She will.
And even though Peyton's being, Peyton,
That's the best way.
She does appreciate the fact that Skye was able to sit there and heal her.
Yes, but she never shows anything.
She doesn't know how to.
Yeah,
she is literally stuck in arrested development.
That's true. We've talked about that. They finish up their dinner, and Skye wonders aloud, should I tell anybody about this thing that attacked Peyton that I have no idea what it is? And Eli's like, you know what? I wouldn't, because you really could use the advantage right now against the Conquistadors. Speaking of advantage, Eli is about to walk out the door to go meet with Rhaegal at the Devil's Fountain. Mm-hmm. For what reason, we don't yet know. We will find out, but we don't yet know. Rhaegal was the one who initiated the meeting, and that really worries Skyelar. And she even says as much. So Eli insists, I can handle whatever surprise Rhaegal thinks that he's bringing. I promise I will not get wrapped up in the Jericho family politics. He's sad.
Family.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's sad that she's so worried about him and offers for her to just come with him. Come to the meeting with me. But she has plans with Ava, so she doesn't go. Instead, she asks him, can't you just hire a bar manager because you are needed more places than there. You need to come and, hang out with me more. So he takes a minute. She's trying to get him in a relationship. He takes a minute.
You can see it a mile away.
Oh, yeah. He just kind of stares at her, and he thinks something really important to his character development here. He wanted to take her heart and hold it close to him to keep it safe, but he says she doesn't know all of him. She doesn't know, and he's thinking all of this. He's not saying it aloud. She doesn't know the things he's done and the lives he's taken to get where he is today. In fact, he speculates that Skyelar has no idea how dangerous it is to fall for him. Why do you think that is? What about him is so dangerous that she shouldn't fall for him like she seems to be doing? Because Elias presents himself as this respectable, honest, kind-hearted soul. But is that just a facade?
A con man.
That's what I'm saying. Is that just a facade?
To a certain degree, yes, it is. It is very much a facade.
Yeah, I think there may be a little bit ulterior motive.
Okay, so now we're starting to think, because in book 1, we didn't think quite so much, but now we're starting to think maybe he has some kind of other
everybody, like I said, everybody has a dark side. His,
Thank you.
Or basically, everybody has secrets.
Yes, they do.
And to quote James Bond, we just haven't found his yet.
That's true. Now, that also begs the question, is Skyelar, thinking about all of what you guys just said, is Skyelar in danger by hanging around him? Do you think he poses a bigger threat to her life than the Conquistadors?
She's in danger no matter which way she turns because she's...
I agree with that. I was going to say that. No matter what she does, she's going to be in danger. You go this way or that way.
So do you think Eli is the lesser of the two?
Very much the lesser.
Okay.
At least at this juncture.
Okay.
100%.
Now the last line in chapter 12 is so critical. And this is not something Elias thinks. It's just something I, the author, am telling you, the reader. And this is the exact line. Elias never once thought about how much more dangerous it was for him to fall for her. So what the hell does that mean? Because we've painted Elias as being the one to have this dark and twisted past. What could possibly be so dangerous about Sky that a strong mythic like him would be put in jeopardy?
Because he's so in love with her that if she were to turn, she could potentially, and the power that she has deep inside that she's not tapped into, if she were to tap into that, she could manipulate him because of his feelings for her. That's
a very interesting and I think valid point.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Now, moreover, do you think that that's why he doesn't realize that that's why he's hesitating to form a relationship with her? Although I say that he never once thought about it, maybe it's subconscious.
It is subconscious.
And you think that's what's giving him that pause of, we can't cross this line?
Because he knows, I mean, as soon as the clothes are off, it's go time. And then after that, you're committed. I mean... And that's what scares the hell out of him, because he will commit himself body and soul to her.
Yeah.
And if something were to happen where she does turn to an evil or a darker side, she could use that as a way to manipulate him into doing stuff that would be quite awful.
Very interesting. Well, that does it for today's discussion. That was such a good one. Thank you guys. I am. Thank you guys for contributing. Thank you all for watching. Be sure you tune in Friday. We're going to wrap up Elias's character development in False Idols on Friday. So be sure you tune in. We love you, and we'll see you then.
Catch up on the Angel of Death series today. The first 4 entries are now available directly at StevieJoAuthor.com.